Mike Garland with Carlisle Events and Spring Carlisle 2022, and I'm joined once again by event manager Ken Appel. We have made our way to the stage and grandstand area, and specifically the ARMO Hot Product Showcase, and here you can check out the latest and greatest products coming onto the market. You know, ARMO is a council of SEMA, and SEMA is a huge industry trade show held every fall in Las Vegas, Nevada. But the caveat is, it's a private show, so unless you're in the industry, you can't attend. This is an opportunity for you to come and see some of those same products in person, and some of the companies that rep these products are actually here at this show, or they come to other shows, Ken.
Yeah, so ARMO stands for the Automotive Restoration Market Organization. We are members of it as Carlisle Events, as we are members of SEMA as well. So the ARMO tent here is a way to showcase, like Mike said, the latest and greatest from the SEMA show that many of you don't get to attend because the SEMA show is a trade-only event. So these products are, in many ways, the first time that you're going to get to see some of those individual parts out here on the market for anybody to play with, touch, feel, look at. It's better than looking online or in a catalog. You actually get to see it here and see how it works for your application.
And you can vote for what you think are some of the cool products. There's a voting slip that you can pick up when you come to the table. They have prizes for you as well. That's what the voting slip looks like. Now we're going to go in the tent, and Ken, the product expert, if you will, is going to talk to you about some of the cool things that you can see here at the show, and then maybe you can get for your import or your Ford or your Chevy or pretty much any major manufacturer. There are parts that can work in here for you.
Yeah, there's stuff from Datsun to Volkswagen to MG to our typical Ford, GM, Chrysler. All that is represented in the tent. ARMO represents everybody in the automotive restoration market. So it's really great to see them out here at Spring Carlisle. And we're going to do a little bit of voting for ourselves. We're going to preview some of the parts, and then I'm going to vote afterward. Unfortunately, you won't see my votes after this video, but we're going to kind of take a look and see what's out there for you.
Let's head into the tent. It's getting a little busy, but we'll go walk in and take a look at some of the products.
So as we walk in, we're going to start here with the 66 to 67 Bronco Firewall parts. We all know that the mice and the water and everything else and mold gets to these. So Quiet Ride actually kind of brought these out. This one's for a 64 to 66 Mustang. They have their Bronco one right here, as I mentioned. It's a great piece out there for anybody that's restoring a classic original Bronco, in which we get a lot of them at our different shows, whether it's our truck show or our Ford show, or even here at Spring Carlisle. I saw some over at our auction earlier. So coming down, we talked about you import fans. Moss here has their new Miata gauge hood. Obviously, we know these crack pretty bad. Moss here actually created a brand new one. It's actually pretty hard, pretty good quality. Moss also has a couple other pieces as well. They have their MGB Panhard bar, and they also have some of their dash panels as well that they're putting out. So check out Moss. They're here in the Hot Product Showcase here at Spring Carlisle. Moving on down, our friends at Flaming River. They're here at many of our events. They have a C3 micro steer column. The best part about this is a lot of the C3s don't turn very well, so this is a great way to get that ride quality back in your C3 to be more like the cars you drive today that are brand new.
Firebird Central and Camaro Central. That's who's up next, and they're actually here at the Spring Show.
Yep.
You can connect with them, and you're seeing some of their products, including a 1970 through 1981. It is a, what does it say? Firebird rear seat center console cup holder.
Yeah, Firebird Central is doing a lot of good stuff for the second gen and third gen Camaro and Firebird part market right now. They also have the 79 to 81 Firebird smoke taillight setups. And we'll also get into a little bit more Firebird and Camaro stuff as we walk around this tent as well. Over here, Magnuson has their new LS3 Hot Rod Supercharger kit. Magnuson builds a lot of really great products. Obviously, we see them across the market. And actually, they have a rep here at the event, representing ARMO. Yeah, their CEO is actually here, so you can actually chat with them, see what's going on. Moving on down here, we have a rear cross sill for an 8096 Ford Bronco. Might not seem like a big deal, but those products are actually coming on hot. The OBS Denside and OBS Ford Bronco products are super strong right now. We saw a bunch in the Car Corral earlier. This is for an 80 to 96. So Bronco people that are OBS fans, here's some of your parts right here. And that's from Auto Metal Direct. Auto Metal Direct also has a 68 to 69 Fairlane, Torino, and Cyclone rear deck panel. Working our way back a little bit, Coker Tire, they're here outside Gate 1. They're a great ARMO company. If you can't find a tire from Coker or what you're looking for wheels from Coker, you're not looking hard enough, because they have a great selection across the board. Working down here, we're going to go down to Right Stuff. Right Stuff's here in the ARMO showcase. They have their new 63 to 70 GMC truck, or actually GM truck, including Suburban, spindle kit and brake kit. Working over here. So a lot of people are into 80s and 90s stuff right now. You want to restore that car, not with a Pioneer radio, not with an Alpine radio. You want an original looking radio. So Retro Sound has their new, what they call the Grand Prix radio, which is a single DIN setup, and it looks pretty much like vehicles from the 80s and 90s.
And it shows what it's compatible with. It offers you HD radio, an AM/FM tuner, Bluetooth, satellite radio. You can use your iPhone.
You can use DAB.
I don't know what that is. DAB? No.
No, not like that.
I didn't think so, but I don't know what that is.
And then Retro Sound also has the 64 to 66 Ford Mustang radio here. We know many of you restore that. Once again, HD radio, AM/FM, Bluetooth, Sirius XM, iPhone,
and DAB.
So working our way down here, our friends at Top Flight, aka Corvette America, they have a brand new C2 4-piece bumper set out. This is obviously only one piece of those four, but it's for those of you that are restoring C2s, this is an unheard of product that really hasn't been out there. So really, really good quality. We obviously know Top Flight does a good job on that. Another Top Flight product that they have through Corvette America is for you C5 owners, the Waterfall Emblem. Those are discontinued from GM anymore. I know this might not seem like a big deal, but if you can't get it from GM and you want that perfect emblem for your C5 to go through NCCC judging, here it is.
Right.
And it's available through Corvette America. Working on down, Ford fans, I'm one of them. Mr. Mustang has their new MM500 wheel. It's a crazy looking setup. It's got some awesome cues to it. They've got a number of sizes, but awesome part as we're working down here. Shooting over here, Auto Metal Direct also has their 67 to 72 GM truck bed pan. It's a bolt-in setup. It's pretty cool. So
Precision weather stripping. I mean, there's a whole bunch of weather stripping here at the event. Of course, you want to keep the interior of your car dry, and you want to keep the water basically wicking away from those metal pieces that could be compromised otherwise if they were to get wet and have standing water.
yeah, and I'm probably going to be voting on one of them because I know the importance, because I need to replace some weather stripping on some of my products. So also Distinctive Industries has their 62 to 63 Falcon stuff. They are door panels, 63 Impala door panels as well from Distinctive Industries. Working down here, we were talking about the third gen parts earlier. This Classic Industries has come out with an 82 to 90 taillight setup for the third gens. It's actually really good quality. If you take a look at it, they did a really, really good job. The sealing is perfect. And I even heard from a friend yesterday that their quality control is actually near dead on. So that's a pretty cool part as well.
Oh, and yeah, and obviously it's an important part of a Camaro of that vintage if you want to have those proper lights.
Yeah, and then also right behind you, they don't unfortunately have the product here, but they have it displayed. Vintage Air has their G-body setup that basically for their fly-by-wire setup that they have. So unfortunately it's not here, but they have a sign describing it. That's pretty important for a lot of us. Coming back to Quiet Ride, they have a 66 to 67 Firewall panel and defroster plenum. Obviously that's pretty important because those cars typically sat outside and they got water in them, and unfortunately the mice have gotten to them in a lot of cases too.
And you're showcasing a lot of these products, and you mentioned from Vintage Air how that's not here, but many of these products have a QR code, so you can come out to the show, you can scan the QR code, it will take you directly to the product page where you can learn more about that product.
Yeah, and in some cases, there are some companies that are here set up, like Camaro Central over by Gate 2, so you can find them here, but then there's others that have their dealers here. So Auto Metal Direct has a number of dealers. We mentioned Coker, they are set up down by Gate 1. Magnuson has their CEO here. Supersoft is here. And there's a number of other ones that are set up with the different dealers that carry their stuff. Not only at this event, but all our events throughout the year. So
I saw some really cool gauges and speedometers down here. I can't wait till we can talk about that.
yeah, so actually Dakota Digital, they do a great job. I actually have Dakota Digital gauges in one of my projects. They came out with a new setup for the 32 Ford and 40 Fords that this 40 Ford one is really trick. Not only is it color changing like a lot of the Dakota Digital ones are, but they also did the clock as well. This is a really, really trick setup. Coming down here in other gauges, Classic Instruments, we can't forget about them. They have a bunch of new items as well. They have a new gauge setup for a 60 to 63 Chevy truck, and actually a lot of GM trucks could probably use that as well if you just change the dash. Then also our friends at Camaro Central, once again getting into some of the other stuff. They have their 79 to 81, their clock to oil gauge conversion through Camaro Central. They have it not only for 79 to 81, but they also have it for 70 to 78. A lot of you don't need that clock. We all have it on our phones nowadays, so why not put an oil pressure gauge in there? Save you the trouble of potentially having an issue on the side of the road because your gauge is actually going to take care of you on that one. So once again, in the Hot Product Showcase, come on down and basically vote for your favorites in these different categories. You can also get entered into a prize through ARMO. And check out the latest and greatest from the SEMA show when it comes to the automotive restoration market. So
It literally, I mean, all the nuts and bolts are here.
you are correct. So.
You and fuel lines, nuts and bolts, gauges, it's all here. ARMO Hot Product Showcase. Find it basically centrally located on the grounds between the stage where the AACA Car Club is and the grandstand where people go to hang out. Stop by, check out the products, learn more at carlisleevents.com.